Our team has sat across from hundreds of teachers in retirement planning reviews. And after all of those conversations, what I can tell you is that the same 5 mistakes come up again and again. These are not complicated mistakes. They are not caused by lack of intelligence or dedication. And actually, they happen because nobody has ever sat down with these teachers and walked them through the full picture before it was too late. Today, I'm going to do exactly that. 5 mistakes, how to spot them, and how to avoid every single one. My name is May Acosta, and I work exclusively with educators on retirement planning. Everything I'm sharing today comes from real conversations with real teachers. Names and details are going to be changed, obviously, but the patterns are real. And if any of these sound familiar, that is not a coincidence. So let's get into it. Mistake number 1 is the most common one that I see. A teacher retires, the first pension check arrives, and for the first time, they sit down and actually compare it to their monthly expenses. And what do they discover? A gap that they never planned for. Pensions typically replace 60 to 75% of your pre-retirement salary if you have put in the years. But your expenses in retirement do not automatically drop by 25 to 40%. Healthcare costs go up, travel you deferred for 30 years costs money, and inflation is working against a fixed monthly payment every single year. The fix is simple, but it requires doing the work before you retire. So sit down, calculate your actual projected pension income, then list your actual projected monthly expenses, all of them. Find that gap. Then you still have time to close it using a 403B, a 457, or possibly other income streams. Discovering that gap the month after you retire is a very different and much harder conversation. Mistake number 2 is the silent one. Teachers faithfully contribute to their 403B for 20, 25 years, and never once look at the expense ratio on their investments. 403B plans for educators are notorious for high fees. Some plans carry expense ratios of 1.5, 2%, or even 2.5% annually. On a $200,000 balance, a 2% fee, that's $4,000 every year coming straight out of your retirement. Over 20 years, that's going to compound into a staggering amount of lost growth. So the fix is to log into your 403B account this week and find your expense ratio on your investments. Anything significantly above a 0.5%, I want you to ask questions. There are almost always lower cost options available, either inside your plan or through a rollover when you leave the district. Mistake number 3 is leaving one of those most powerful retirement tools completely untouched. Most public school educators have access to a 457B deferred compensation plan through their district, and most of them have never even heard of it. Here is why this matters so much. If you retire before age 59 and a half, which many teachers do, withdrawals from a 403B come with a 10% early withdrawal penalty on top of regular income taxes. A 457 has no early withdrawal penalty, 0. So the moment that you separate from service, that money is accessible at any age without penalty. In the year 2026, as I'm recording this video, you can contribute up to $24,500 to a 457 on top of whatever you contribute to your 403B. These are completely separate limits. For teachers in their final 5 to 10 years, stacking both of these accounts is one of the smartest moves available. The fix is simple. Go ahead and call your HR department and ask, does your district offer a 457B deferred compensation plan? And if the answer is yes, find out how to enroll today. Mistake number 4 is one of the biggest ones, and unfortunately it cannot be undone. And that is what makes it the most consequential mistake on the list. When you apply for your pension, you're going to be asked to choose a payment option. Most systems offer several. A single life option pays the highest monthly amount but stops completely when you pass away. A joint and survivor option pays a lower monthly amount but continues paying your spouse after you die. And this decision is irrevocable. Once you sign and your pension begins, You cannot change it. And yet, I see teachers rushing through this choice without fully understanding the trade offs, sometimes in the middle of everything else happening in that final sprint toward retirement. The fix is to start this conversation at least a year before your retirement date. Run the numbers on each option. Think about your spouse's financial situation if you pass first. Consider your health and your family history. This decision deserves real time and real attention, so don't let it be an afterthought. Mistake number 5 catches more teachers off guard than almost anything else, and that is the healthcare gap. Medicare begins at age 65. Many teachers retire in their late 50s or early 60s. That gap, sometimes 5, 6, 7 years, is a real cost that has to be funded from somewhere. Private health insurance for a single person in that age range can run $800 to $1,200 a month or more. For a couple, double that. Cobra, after leaving the district, can bridge a short gap but comes at a full premium cost. And marketplace coverage through healthcare.gov may offer subsidies depending on your income in retirement, which is worth calculating before you assume the worst. The fix is to build healthcare into your retirement budget before you retire, not after. Find out exactly what your district offers retirees. Price out your Cobra option. Check out marketplace subsidies based on your projected retirement income and factor every bit of into your monthly expense number so there are no surprises. 5 mistakes, every single one of them preventable. And every single one of them something I see regularly in my reviews with educators who are smart, dedicated, and simply were never given this information. This is what this channel is for. That is what a retirement review is for. If any of these 5 things made you think about your own situation or someone that you love, and hey, you actually want someone to look over these numbers with you and give a second opinion, I would love to do that. Our complimentary pension and retirement review is exactly this conversation. There's no pressure, no products, just clarity. Check out my link in the description below and share this video with a teacher who needs to hear it. They may not even know they need it until they watch it. And so I'll see you guys next Thursday. Have a great week.